What's also incredible about this biological hardware is how it's organized into specific regions that have their own primary jobs. Up here, in the frontal lobe, we handle decision making, planning, and personality. Back here in the parietal lobe, we integrate sensory information from the body. Down here in the temporal lobe, we process memory, language, and sound. And in the back, the occipital lobe is all about vision. Deeper inside, we have structures like the thalamus, relaying information, the hypothalamus, regulating hunger and hormones, and the amygdala acting as our emotional alarm system. And of course, my personal favorite, the cerebellum, which coordinates movement and even helps with certain kinds of learning, including muscle memory. The point is, the brain isn't one big uniform blob doing everything at once. It has dedicated regions specialized in different tasks. Yet they all work together seamlessly. That kind of built-in biological modularity is something today's AI systems simply don't have in the same dynamic way. AI can have layers that specialize in certain patterns, but it's all software running on the same hardware. There's no equivalent to these distinct living regions that can adapt or even take over for each other when needed.
What if every thought you've ever had, every decision you've ever made, every memory you've held on to, and even a feeling of hunger rumbling in your stomach were all controlled by specialized teams working around the clock inside your head? It sounds like the setup for a futuristic sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now inside your brain. Far from being one giant mass of tissue, the human brain is more like a perfectly organized biological headquarters, with different regions assigned to specific jobs that keep your body and mind functioning every second of the day. Scientists have spent decades uncovering how the brain operates, and the more we learn, the more incredible it becomes. Each section plays a role so important that even the smallest disruption can affect how we think, feel, move, and survive. From making life-changing decisions to recognizing a loved one's voice, your brain is constantly coordinating millions of signals with astonishing precision. At the front of this command center sits the frontal lobe, often called the brain's executive office. This region is responsible for decision-making, planning, personality, emotional control, and problem-solving. Every time you weigh your options before making a choice, organize your schedule, or resist the urge to say something impulsive, your frontal lobe is hard at work. It's also deeply connected to who you are as a person. Traits like self-control, motivation, and social behavior are strongly influenced by this part of the brain. Damage to the frontal lobe can dramatically change someone's personality or behavior. A person who was once calm and responsible may suddenly become impulsive or emotionally unstable. This reveals just how much of our identity depends on this remarkable area. It acts almost like the CEO of the brain, overseeing higher thinking and ensuring that actions align with goals and consequences. Just behind it lies the parietal lobe, the department responsible for integrating sensory information from the body. This area helps you process touch, temperature, pain, pressure, and spatial awareness. Without it, understanding where your body is in space will become incredibly difficult. Imagine trying to pick up a glass of water without knowing exactly where your hand is or how much force to apply. The parietal lobe allows you to interact smoothly with the physical world. It gathers information from different senses and combines them into one clear picture that your brain can understand. It's also essential for coordination and navigation, helping you move through crowded rooms without bumping into everything around you. Then there's the temporal lobe, one of the brain's most fascinating divisions. Located near the sides of your head, this region is heavily involved in memory, language, and sound processing. Every song you recognize, every conversation you understand, and every cherished memory you recall depends largely on the temporal lobe. This area helps transform sounds into meaningful language, allowing us to communicate with one another. It also plays a major role in storing long-term memories. The emotional connection tied to memories often passes through nearby structures linked to the temporal lobe, which is why certain songs or smells can instantly transport you back to a specific moment in your life. The temporal lobe's importance becomes even clearer in people with memory disorders. Conditions like Alzheimer's disease often begin by damaging structures associated with memory processing in this area, slowly stealing away a person's ability to remember names, faces, and experiences. It's a heartbreaking reminder of how essential this region is to human identity and connection. At the back of the brain sits the occipital lobe, the headquarters for vision. Every image you see, from sunsets to smartphone screens, is processed here. Your eyes may capture light, but it's the occipital lobe that turns those signals into recognizable images. This region works at incredible speed, interpreting color, shape, movement, and depth almost instantly. Without the occipital lobe, vision becomes impossible, even if the eyes themselves are perfectly healthy. It's the brain's visual processing center, translating raw data into the world you experience every day. Perhaps one of the most underrated parts of the brain is the thalamus, often described as the brain's information relay station. Nearly every sensory signal traveling through the body passes through the thalamus before reaching its final destination in the brain. Think of it as a highly efficient traffic controller, directing incoming information to the correct department. Whether it's touch, sound, pain, or visual input, the thalamus ensures the signals are sent where they need to go quickly and accurately. Without this relay system, communication inside the brain would become chaotic. It's one of the key reasons the brain can process so much information simultaneously without collapsing under the pressure. Beneath the thalamus lies another tiny but powerful structure, the hypothalamus. Though small in size, its responsibilities are enormous. This region regulates hunger, body temperature, hormones, sleep, thirst, emotions, and many automatic survival functions. When you feel hungry after skipping a meal, your hypothalamus is involved. When your body sweats to cool down or shivers to warm up, the hypothalamus is working behind the scenes to maintain balance. It also communicates closely with the endocrine system, helping control hormone production throughout the body. In many ways, the hypothalamus acts like the brain's internal thermostat and survival manager. It constantly monitors conditions inside the body and makes adjustments to keep everything stable. Without it, even basic life functions would spiral out of control. What makes the brain truly extraordinary is not just the individual roles of these regions, but how seamlessly they work together. When you hear your favorite song, for example, the temporal lobe processes a sound. The frontal lobe connects emotions and memories to it. The parietal lobe helps you tap your foot to the rhythm, and the occipital lobe may process images tied to the experience. Meanwhile, the thalamus coordinates incoming sensory signals while the hypothalamus regulates your emotional and physical responses. It's a non-stop collaboration happening every second of your life without you even realizing it. The human brain remains one of the greatest mysteries in science. Despite all we've discovered, researchers still believe we've only scratched the surface of understanding how this biological headquarters truly works. Every thought, dream, emotion, and action emerges from this unbelievably complex network of specialized departments operating in perfect synchronization. And perhaps that's the most astonishing part of all. Inside your skull exists a living command center so advanced that it can study itself, question itself, and even wonder about its own existence.